they turned it off. I had no water for 2 weeks at Christmas. I have an aquarium, I lost 10 of my fish in it. This is some of the intimidation that went on here in the siege of Plum Street. Right, now as we move back, we move the GCB over here. We put a GCB there. They collapsed the cellars under. They had a sign up there saying deep excavation. This is all part of the intimidation. They opened that every day for 3 months. So every day I got up, that was lying open. Right, now this is gold. G-O-L-D. Real stuff. As you can see. Right, leave that there. Now the tunnels, the chamber starts here. Just there. Right, it goes down there. It goes down here where, what do you call it? Neolithic passage turns into it. There's 10 chambers. The chambers themselves are made, most they're gold. The artifacts in them are also made of gold. What happened then was we had to make a decision because we were forced into to open one of the chambers. Now, I have never seen chambers like them. They're not Neolithic chambers as I know them. I'm drawing a conclusion that they're Paleolithic, late Paleolithic, early Neolithic chambers. And I also draw the conclusion because of the different types of gold we found that there was a trade in gold here. And the trade in gold basically was to light up the tunnels and chambers, like a mirror effect and a candle. You put the candle to the mirror, it lights up. You put the torch to the gold, it lights up. Do you understand now? Now as we go on down, it's to 24 and 3/4. See that big black stand over there? It'd be just about reached there. The whole building. The building's 30 feet under the ground to 40 feet. Well, 20 to 30, but when you're going downhill then, it goes into about, takes up another 10 feet. And it is a building. The wall under is 10 feet deep. Right? Now we opened one of the chambers in the top layer. But we think there's 3 layers of chambers. As this went on, the siege of Plum Street broke out. It broke out for many reasons, but probably the main reason in it was money. The NIEA were involved, the NIHEA, Derry City Council, the grants companies, etc., etc. Most of them gangsters and the police. It was about large amounts of money. Money they couldn't get because of me. Plain and simple, I wouldn't wear them. So as we worked on, we found the publicity getting bad, so I had to fight back. So there was a publicity campaign on both sides that lasted over a year. Any archaeologist was caught working was told to be blacklisted and threatened. There were fights in the street. At one stage there were cars being wrecked. Go ahead. We danced out one night to a fight and there were 3 or 4 waiting for us. We found out later they were getting paid. There was intimidation by the other organisations. The whole thing went into a type of paramilitary organisation near the end of it. Derry City Council, the police, the NIEA, the NIHEA, the Historic Monuments Unit, etc., etc., etc. They even went to the minister at the time puts the environmental minister to get a law passed to stop me from digging. The reason being because of the ancient building under us. The building's is between 10,000 and 8,000 years old. And it is littered in artifacts and gold. It is made of it. Now, I had to come to a decision not to bring out massive amounts. I've gold lying in there right now. I have about, honestly, I could bring out maybe 200 or 300 with a slab gold, but I decided not to. Brian McMichael, my business associate and colleague in this, decided there and then, he told me, listen Brian, if we bring that out, that'll give them an excuse. Just bring out enough of everything to prove it. Don't bring out anything else. And that's how it was done. We began then to realise that they had muzzled the press, attacked us through the press, tried every dirty trick in the book. Now, right now there's cases pending. There's about, right now I would say there's a good many cases, 10, 11, 14 people, all in different organisations of the government. So eventually we opened one of the chambers. The reason we opened it, because they were making liars of us. Plain and simple. There was no reason for me not to open it then. If these people want to make me a liar, then I'll have a go with them. And that's exactly what I did. I had a go with them. We fought them. And we fought them to a standstill. 17 months. At times I was coming out here and they were standing, ambushes, etc., etc. Personally, if Brian McMichael hadn't have been there, killings would have happened, because I couldn't have took it. So my business colleagues supported me the whole way through it. We then come to the conclusion that if we had to take these people on, we're going to beat them. And we're going to beat them through the court system.
There, left there.
They're in a powerful monopoly, an organisation. And it's all about grants. It's all about money. It's all about shady deals. And I wouldn't play ball. The people that are behind it are in court for it right now. But it'll not end, it's over. I want every one of them, and I want some of them jailed for what they did. Because we can prove it. I squared up against the Lord Chief Justice of Northern Ireland, and I laid into him. Plain and simple. I told him the truth. He didn't like it. But that's me. I don't mess around. I don't take the rubbish. I told him if he wasn't prepared to protect innocent people, law-abiding people, then who was he willing to protect? If he didn't protect the law and the people that abide by his laws, then he must face the consequences of what he does. And the consequences of that is violence. Now the police, I was sick going to them, useless, and they were useless. We had 7.5 hours of informal talks, and we come to the conclusion in it, they weren't interested except covering up for the people that did it. And obstructing and causing a miscarriage of justice in it. There's a human rights case and a civil rights case coming out of this. And it's going to Strasbourg. Well, whether they like it or not, that's where it's going. I'll not tolerate them. Plain and simple. I don't like thieves and I don't like gangsters. And if you want to protect gangsters, that's up to you. But if you're coming at me, you better protect them well. That's the way I feel about it. Now, for the intimidation was horrendous. This place was ripped apart more times than enough. We came out one night, cars wrecked, straight into a fight. The police ran. Plain and simple. And then the threats from other organisations were involved.
This is one of our finds, and we believe this is a Neolithic or earlier axe head. You can see it looks like a New York fireman's axe head. You look at it like that, and you can actually see it's been carved at the front at the striking edge, and there's a point at the back. Another piece, and I believe these are the key pieces, is this one here. It came out in one piece, but quickly came apart, but you can see that they're well matched together. They're an ideal socket. You've held it yourself. This here was a multi-purpose tool that could have been used like that, or put in the end of a spear, and that would have been the striking face. There's a number of other things that fit into. There's this piece here, and you can see it's worn smooth there and smooth there, where somebody actually caught it like that and used it. It would have took an awful long time for those to wear smooth, and they fit onto a hand, a smaller hand than mine, because they weren't very tall. And there's a number of other artifacts, and we've a lot of pictures which was forwarded to government offices, legal offices, regarding the dig. And this stone may be, when proved, of specific importance. And we can see outlines here. It's well worn, but very, very old. And there's a number of other pieces like that, where there's a bit of tape on there at the minute, but you can see it fits very readily into the hand. And a number of other different parts of, and this again, there's finger holes that can be held. Hold on, right there. You can see that that's smooth as well. And there's for your actual hands, your hand slips into the pieces there, so it must have been used, either held above, thus, or thus. These pieces need further investigation. This is another different type of axe head, and you can see this being the striking edge, and once again worked at the back. And between these here, these are the pieces that we believe can be dated. We've also got slight fragments of bone, which any university could date that. You can see the structure of the bone though. It's not rock, it's going rocky, but it's actually very old bone that could be dated. They tell us how old that structure is. There's a couple of pieces of that. That's about it for that. Okay. And action. This is the area. This is the area leading to the entrance to the find, and it's very different now than it was. It was very scruffy before, and now this is the cleaned up version. Here we can see. Here we might be able to see the entrance to the dig, and as you can see in here, it's actually, you have to actually get down on your hunkers and slide in basically. Right? There's any possibility you leaning in there and just pointing it that way and that way. Okay. Wall.
Aye.
On the other side of the wall, but to the right and their left.
Right. I'll slow the camera on the way.
On up there about 15 feet on your right, and on the left hand side of the tunnel. The other side of the tunnel. And then to the left, you'll be open one of the stair holes, and these are the Neolithic passages into them.
Got it. Right, first part. I'll take out the actual sound, just Yeah. So let's say film footage of Pump Street underground of the hidden river tunnels, what they call it, river tunnels and chambers. Hidden footage, very exclusive footage, worldwide first, of DR Productions.
I've said it found Tudor bricks. There's one of them. It's a red Tudor brick. It's around 1600. Right? Now the problem was that the minute I reported that the Northern Ireland Environmental Built Heritage, they said the whole tunnel was made of Tudor brick then. These are the kind of tactics they used in the siege. And it was a siege. It was a brutal, sadistic, low down, for want of a better word, attack on me by people that were just, I wouldn't even wipe my shoes on them in the street.
Don't worry about them. Concentrate on the find.
Well, the find was this. When I reported the Tudor brick, I found a Tudor brick. I found a few of them. They said then the whole tunnel was made of Tudor brick. I never said that. It was just another one of their tactics in this. So the battle went on in the press, through the Sentinel, through the Irish press, through the radio programmes for a full year. And I'd fought them to a standstill. Because I had the proof, and I still have the proof. All this is gold. All different types, no, over here. All different types of gold. That is different to that type of gold, is different to that type of gold, is different to that type of gold. That axe head's actually stone and gold mixed. Now the scientific term for it is hardcore gold. And what I mean by that is simply this, that it's core gold. It's pure gold in stone. It hasn't been mined out of it.
Gold bearing ore.
Gold bearing ore is the word for it. It hasn't been mined out of it. It's been hand cut, these axes, these axe heads. But I have never seen axe heads like them. I believe what you're looking at there is 3 of the tombs we opened. In each tomb we found an axe head. And the last tomb we found this triangular hand carved statue. We found other axe heads, but of different types. This leads me to believe arrowheads, spearheads like this. This leads me to believe that this site was in use for a long period of time. Some of these things are Paleolithic, or maybe late Paleolithic, early Neolithic, late Neolithic. We're not sure because we haven't got them carbon dated. They removed the chances of us proving what we have by taking away that. So I had to prove it the old-fashioned way. Finds and findings, as honestly and as truthfully as I could. Now what that was all about basically was money. Nothing else. They claimed a lot, but at the end of the day, all they're interested was money. Now that's a hand-carved flint. You can feel the fingers. To do that, the piece of stone took years. This piece, they're carbonized bones out of the tombs. The Tuatha stone itself, it's called the Tuatha stone because of the Tuatha Danann, after they put the Fear Bog in the island, which was Londonderry, or Derry, depending on your own, what you call it. Carved a stone and threw it into a chamber. Now watch this. There's a spearhead. There's one of the axe heads there. There's another axe head here. There's another axe head there, and there's a main axe head there. That's as far as we've got to decipher it so far. It's that old, I'm terrified to mess around with it. What you're looking at is a national treasure. As that is. You can feel the finger marks. Look at the finger marks on that. It must have took years and years to put that in. And it went up like that. And then it was turned down like that. And came down like that. There's scrapers there. Axe heads. There's an arrowhead. There's a semi-made axe head. You see, I've tried to leave the dirt on them so they can get a better reading. But they didn't take any readings. They held it as arm's length through the judiciary of Northern Ireland and some of the so-called found to be complete and utter gangsters. Carpetbaggers. They used to come in here and tell me heritage was priceless. Take it from me, if they'd have got it, it would have been... It's not. So the plan then was to steal. Plain and simple. And to steal what they could. They couldn't get it off me. This is our property now, not theirs. We reported it, 6 months was passed, nobody's claimed it. That's the law. And there's nothing they can do about it. We're working at times, we hand our finds and findings over to the Ulster Museum. We only do that for 2 or 3 different reasons. One, we're not thieves. Plain and simple. We're honest men. Doing legal, honest work. And 2, we will not be hindered in that work by people that are doing illegal work. The dig itself, we moved about 2 to 3 tonne of earth secretly to open them chambers between me and Brian McMichael. We had to hide the earth. They even stopped us and asked us what we were doing with the soil. So at one stage, I says, it's one of life's great mysteries. At another stage, I said, sure, we're digging in our hole and burying it. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of people you're dealing with. Another one was to build it up and downplay it and down spiral it. These are tricks they used. And they're very dirty. They're just very, they're not clean. You know what I mean? They're people make my skin crawl. And I was sitting for 7.5 hours for talks that were a woman who was trying to cover these people up and protect them. If they do so protecting the law-abiding people in Northern Ireland, then I would believe them. But the people who were protecting were the ones that were breaking the law. So, who wants the police? Who wants that type of policing? It's up to you. I'm just merely putting the facts down. I remember going down and reporting, and what she said, they didn't even write it down. There's a JCB out there one day trying to knock down the walls. I dived up and dived out. I went to the police and reported. They wouldn't even put it into their incident books. As for the judiciary was involved, take it from me, I will go toe-to-toe wherever I want them, sooner or later. And I hope they can fight verbally and know the law, because they broke that many laws. It's incredible that these people are allowed to even have jobs in government. They talk about open government. It's useless without responsibility. And that's the truth. There's no responsibility in the government. I've had a fight to find out who did what, when and where. And when I did find out, it was easy to prove what they did. Now, I'm not getting into the legal bit of it, but that's only parts of it. Now, what we dug up was just to prove it's all there. Nothing more. Now, taking them 10 major chambers we found, where these passage tombs are going round them, say there's 5 to 7 in each passage tombs. That would be 70 tombs. There's never anything in Ireland be found like this. I couldn't get my head around it. I searched every known aspect. There was a tomb found in New Buildings, a small one. There was a tomb found in Bridge End, another small one, compared to the size of that building. Now that building has a 10-foot wall attached to it. Now working that out, 10 to 11 foot would give them a 3-tier system in there. Like 3 blocks of flats. That's what we're talking about, and it is 24 3/4 meters down the street. Now that's the truth. That's the whole truth. Why I won't go in and dig it all out, because some of these things are not. That's a national treasure sitting there. That's old. That's older than what Moses' stones were. The tablets of stones. That's a national treasure. That's a national treasure. That's a national treasure. And that also is a national treasure. That's a national treasure. That's a scraper. That's a knife. Then we have miscellaneous. That's that corner there. where we take them out and we have to wash them because they're embedded in soil. We have to dig them out and wash them and clean them. When that came out, that piece of gold or hard ore, it was pure brown. It was very, very dark, the same as that axe head. What I had to do was polish them up with dry cloths, and it takes about 3 or 4 weeks to polish a piece of gold up. Now, fool's gold shines, this stuff doesn't. This is hard, the real McCoy you're looking at. Gold barred ore, like that. It's that brown when I get it. Now that's the whole way through them rocks. That's gold. Any geologist will tell you that. These people have to be brought to justice for what they did. From human rights violations to open protection from the authorities that be. And do you know what it was really? One of them added a little bit here and another added a little bit there. The Nuremberg scenario. And how's the Nuremberg scenario work? When they took the Nazis in Nuremberg up for the gas chambers, one of them only closed the door and the other only pressed the button and the other only put the gas tin in. That's the Nuremberg scenario. That's what they used, but they used it too long. We began to be able to prove these things against them. And then we began to cut into their end of it. And what they are is less than what I would do to that there. They are less than human in my eyes. That's the Nuremberg scenario. And they will face human rights charges over it and civil rights. This great Derry City Council, no one of them said one day, it started as a terrible drain and a terrible this. It ended up our heritage. It's not their heritage. It's me and Brian McMichael's heritage right now. And that's the way it'll stay till the World Heritage take it over. UNESCO. Now people say I'm a cold fish and all this here, but look at what I have to protect. That's a national treasure. That's worth millions. And so is that. All that proves about the gold. Everything I said is true. The fabricated lies they made up is their problem, not mine. They're just vermin. Nothing more, nothing less. I haven't much more to say to you. You have a rough idea of what we're dealing with, well, precise idea. Do you know I was handing my findings over and they were being handed illegally to an illegal organisation in my eyes that attacked me and made itself illegal? Know what I mean? I was handing my findings over to the police. They were handing them over to the person who was attacking me. What protection on the law is that? There's only one law on this, and if it comes to it, so be it. You can take over for a minute.
Concentrating on the find, it was an intriguing find, very interesting. I was brought onto it as merely support for Brian, who told me what he believed was there, and whenever we busted it open and actually found the tunnel, it was intriguing at least, and whenever we found the chambers, and we expected whenever we brought the powers that be and alerted them to it, that it would be in like a flash with professional archaeologists and support from society. We were shocked and surprised by the I've lost it. What's the word for it? Shocked, surprised by the lack of response from the organisations that should have took a hand in it, and we've had nothing but obstruction all the way through. We intend to change that, and we'd like this looked at by professional archaeologists and analysed by the people who say that they're into heritage and archaeology. And I find it an intriguing concept, an intriguing project, and I look forward to it getting on the media and being explored to its fullest extent, as it should have been from the beginning. Thank you very much.